Imagine a world where Silicon Valleys move fast and break things. Mantra isn't just about disrupting industries. It's about breaking laws, laundering millions, and outrunning both gangsters and the FBI. That's StartUp, the 2016 crime drama that's more relevant today than ever, as crypto scandals and tech fraud dominate headlines. At the center of this chaos is Nick Talman, Adam Brody, a down-and-out programmer drowning in failure. His father, Ron Perlman, a white-collar criminal on the run, dumps $5 million of dirty cash in Nick's lap. Money that belongs to Ronald Dacey, Edi Gathegi, a ruthless Haitian gang leader with zero patience for excuses. Instead of running, Nick does something even crazier. He turns the money into a legitimate cryptocurrency startup, Arachnat, alongside Izzy Morales or Otmara Marrero, a genius hacker with a rebellious streak, and Phil Rask, Martin Freeman, a corrupt FBI agent who sees an opportunity to get rich. What follows is a high-octane collision of tech ambition and criminal underworlds. The show's brilliance lies in how it mirrors real-life tech culture, where startups blur ethical lines in pursuit of success. Arachne isn't just a fictional company. It's a dark reflection of how Silicon Valley's obsession with disruption can spiral into outright corruption. Martin Freeman's Phil Rask is the show's secret weapon, a morally bankrupt Fed who's as much a villain as the gangsters he's supposed to hunt. His descent into greed mirrors real-world scandals where law enforcement and criminals often dance too close to the flame. Meanwhile, Edi Gathegi's Ronald Dacey is terrifyingly charismatic, a crime boss who understands the power of tech better than the techies themselves. StartUp isn't just a crime thriller. It's a warning. In an age where crypto billionaires rise and fall overnight, where FTX-style frauds make global headlines, this show feels like a prophecy. It asks the uncomfortable question, what if the next unicorn startup wasn't just overvalued, but outright illegal? With breakneck pacing, brutal violence, and razor-sharp dialogue, StartUp is breaking bad meets The Social Network with a dose of Narcos for good measure. If you've ever wondered what happens when tech genius meets criminal enterprise, buckle up. This show doesn't just cross the line, it erases it completely. StartUp is what happens when a writer binge-watches The Wolf of Wall Street, Breaking Bad, and The Social Network, then vomits out a script while yelling, "Disruption," the premise. Nick Talman, Adam Brody, doing his best sad tech guy impression, stumbles into money laundering because his deadbeat criminal dad, Ron Perlman, slumming it, dumps a duffel bag of dirty cash on him. Instead of, say, calling the cops or fleeing the country, Nick decides to launder it through a startup, because apparently no one in this universe has heard of offshore accounts. Enter Izzy Morales, Otmara Marrero, the obligatory tough hacker girl whose entire personality is, I'm smarter than you, and also I swear a lot. She teams up with Nick to build Arachnet, a cryptocurrency that, shockingly, gets hijacked by actual criminals. Who could have predicted that mixing gang money with tech bros would go poorly? Then there's Martin Freeman as Phil Rask, an FBI agent so corrupt he makes training days Alonzo look like a Boy Scout. Freeman's performance is a masterclass in, I'm only here for the paycheck, delivering every line like he's reading from a teleprompter while hungover. His character's arc? Greedy cop gets greedier, riveting. The real villain is Ronald Dacey, Edi Gathegi, a Haitian gangster who talks like a philosophy major but kills like a Grand Theft or NPC. The show wants us to believe he's some criminal mastermind, but his grand plan is investing in Bitcoin before it was cool. Such menace. StartUp desperately wants to be a gritty, Breaking Bad-style drama, but it lacks the brains. Instead of Walter White's slow descent into evil, we get Nick bumbling into crime because the plot demands it. Instead of tense moral dilemmas, we get, hey, let's make an app for drug money. The show's biggest sin. It thinks it's saying something profound about capitalism and crime. Spoiler, it's not. We get it. Tech startups are shady and cops are corrupt. Thanks for the hot take, StartUp. By the end, you'll be rooting for everyone to fail, not because it's a clever tragedy, but because you're exhausted by the sheer stupidity on display. If The Social Network was a sleek Tesla, StartUp is a beat-up Uber with a driver who won't stop talking about the blockchain, bro. StartUp is a thrilling, underrated gem that predicted the dark side of tech culture. Caustic take, StartUp is a messy, try-hard drama that thinks it's smarter than it is. Either way, it's a wild ride, whether you're laughing at it or with it.